Hello, and thanks for tuning in. It's a weeknight, and I actually have the night free. It's only 6:30, so I'm going to actually start a new project. I won't be able to finish it tonight, although mechanically I think I could probably finish it tonight, no problem. But it does need some cosmetics. But it's an old electric fan. Koldair is the brand. And to be honest, I used to restore old fans all the time back 25 years ago. Now, it's pretty infrequent. I do one every 6 months to a year if I come across it. But this one's pretty cool. I got it in an estate sale. It clearly needs work, but I have no doubt this thing is going to fire right up. So let's take a look. So let's look at the badge first. Koldair induction type fan by Knapp Monarch. So this was not a high dollar fan. I'm not sure if my book would actually list it. You see the KM logo right there for Knapp Monarch. But I may look at it and see. I would guess 1930s. Tough to say. These are kind of called dime store fans because they're not Emerson, GE, Robinson Myers, Hunters. You know, they're none of the big brands that made fans. Oh, Rusty just ran in. But they are interesting to work on. This one, the cord is clearly no good. I would not plug that in. That would immediately arc. What's up, Rusty? Oh, Rusty's saying hi. There is no base on this one. It's just got rubber feet. And I'm not sure if that's the way it came. I'm pretty sure that's the way this came. But what I don't like about it is where the switch was. Rusty, you're totally in the way here. So they've just got this cord running through where the switch was. And it then comes out. So they've got it running in here, which is normal. But then they've got it running out here, which I guess it's possible that this was to simply plug it in and it would turn on. But, I mean, I could probably put a switch in there. But then if I do put a switch in there, you got the problem of there's no cover for it. These feet are pretty worn as well. But anyway, it looks pretty challenging. The body itself, the paint looks good. It's got a kind of wrinkle finish on it. I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up so much. It's quite dusty. But yeah, you see there's kind of a texture to the paint. The cage is got paint spatters on it and is corroded. I guess it was just a metal cage. And the blades were chrome at one point and they're pretty rusty. So, right, Rusty? The blades are rusty. So I'm going to use Evaporust on the blades, but oh, he's getting feisty. Let's start by taking this guy apart and rewiring it. All right, let's start by taking the blades off. These are just flathead screws, and they appear to be brass, which is neat because a little bit of bright work always dresses these up. Well, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. They're magnetic, so I don't think they're brass. They have a brass color on the head, but if it were pure brass, it would not be magnetic. Yeah, they're not pure brass. So you got 3 screws for that. We're gonna have to take this badge off if we're gonna work on the cage. And we'll need to sand the cage down. Okay, now let's take the blade off, which is just one set screw. Hopefully it comes out. Yep. All right, that's it for the blades. This cord is junk. Let's just cut it. Interestingly, the cord is really bad at the edge on over here. And as you get closer, there's a couple cracks. And then from here on, there's no cracks at all. Pretty weird. I guess I'll save this end. Some people want them. I don't, but some people keep them. All right, so what I'm finding interesting is with this cord, see up here, it's in perfect shape. It's like new, it's flexible, it's not cracked. So, you gotta think about that. I could probably reuse part of this cable and not worry about going into and rewiring into the head here. That would save a lot of time. So, oh hi Mugs. So I'm going to go look and see if I've got a cord. I do, I'm pretty sure I must have one like that. And a switch, and I'll be right back. All right, I've got a cord that pretty much, though it's newer, and apparently has some gray paint on it from something. But it pretty much exactly matches this cord. So if I decide I don't want to go into the motor here, let's take this out. I found some switches. What's up, Rusty? You are really a pain today. I know. So I got two switches. You gotta get down, Rusty. You totally in the way. Let me show you. So this switch is really interesting. I'm not sure, but I have an old case with old electrical parts from when I used to rebuild fans, and I still have a lot of it. So I found these two switches in there. That fits. I believe this is the same size, so either of these could work. So what I want to see is if the switch will be essentially out of the way. Okay, so this one totally fits, totally out of the way. This guy, it's a little odd. So let's get a voltmeter and test it, make sure it works. I would suspect it does. So to test it, we're going to go to an ohm setting, and so resistance, and we're just going to see. Just go one lead to the next, and if the meter registers something, okay, it registers nothing, so that would be off, and that would be on. Okay, so it did register. Real quick, it won't register for long. But yeah, okay, so that's on, and that's off. Oh, Rusty, you are something else today. You're gonna make Muggsy jealous. You're gonna make Muggsy jealous. So that switch is good. We'll probably end up using it. I'm going to need to insulate these wires quite a bit, actually. But it shouldn't be too difficult. All right, let's take the end off this cord. What's going on with this thing? I see. So they tied a knot in this so it couldn't pull through. That's okay. We won't need that. gotta think about this. Without a base on this, this is going to be a different setup. Can they both go in? Well, we should replace these rubber grommets. This grommet is absolutely turned into hard plastic. It's still technically serving its purpose, but look at, I just hit it with a screwdriver and it crumbled, so we'll get rid of that. So let me get another grommet. I did bring some grommets out. What I'm hoping is that I can have this wire go in and the head wire go in. If they both go in, then I can pretty much, yep, we're in. Okay, great. Okay, let me get a rag. I want to lay this thing down. I don't want to scratch it up any more than it is scratched up. Okay, that's that. Wiring this will be pretty easy. You obviously don't need that much wire. Yeah, that should be enough. Okay. So what we've got to do is we're going to connect one lead of this wire to one lead of that wire, and then one lead of this wire to the switch, and one lead of this wire to the switch. And that's it. While we're at it, let's check this switch, because this toggle, the wires are good. It does barely fit. Yeah, it fits just barely because of the shape of it. Now the question is, can you get a nut on the end? Nope. Okay, so that makes our decision. We only have one switch. So we'll be going with that one. All right, let me get some shrink tubing, get the soldering gun, and I'll be back. I got my soldering gun, soldering paste, solder. It occurs to me that I have had this roll of solder for going on like 25 years. Okay, so the switch, I have to solder to this. Oh, no. Oh, geez. Geez, Rusty, you're not going to let me get this job done. I tried to put him outside, but he just comes back. You need to know how to behave like Muggsy, because you can get hurt up here. Okay. How about you try the bed? Well, that didn't work. All right, you need to get down. It's all right. He's new. All right, so let's put a little paste on this connection. I put shrink tubing on it already so that once we're done soldering, I'm going to do one connection at a time. Oh, no. You're going to get burned. But I know it only happened once. Okay. All right, we're good. Let's do the other one. Okay. Because of the way that switch was, I'm going to actually add some liquid electrical tape. Oh, this looks like it may be dried up. Is it completely? Very close. Well, that's the end of that thing. I had another brand of liquid electrical tape, not this, and that container ended up lasting me, I don't know, 2-3 years. I bought this as a set. It came with like 5 or 6 bottles, and now I know why, because it dries up. So we used the connector for that wire and the switch with shrink tubing and liquid electrical tape for one of these wires and one of these wires. And that's all we really have to do. This is a 2-prong motor. I gotta think about what I want to do here because I don't like leaving this exposed. So I'm gonna walk around the shop, see if I got it. I could cut a wooden base and that would work fine, actually. It'd be insulating as well. But let me look, let me see what I can find. If you follow my channel at all, you may have seen the flea market video where I picked this up for $3, this light. I bought this light to use for this grinder. And if you're familiar with these, I don't need the base for this light. And this looks pretty close to the right size for that. Like this base may very well be the exact same size as that. So I'm going to take this plastic piece off. It's only got one screw holding it on. Oh, I don't know. So it's holding it on. So I'm going to take that off while that continues to dry, and then I'll be back. I'm using this insulating washer on the switch, provided it gives me enough room, just to keep the body of the switch away from the fan. Seems to work. That's mostly out of the way. That's better. I figure what to do about that. Let's put this grommet back. All right, well, we are actually at a point where we could test this. I haven't oiled it yet, but there's really no reason why we couldn't test it. Okay, so we are going to test it. So to test it, I'm going to do my normal procedure. So this box, this power is off, because I'm not sure which the switch, if it's on or off. So we're going to plug it in, and we're going to add power and see what it does. Okay, let's hope that meant the switch was off. That should mean the switch is on, and there we go. Oh, it oscillates very fast. Okay, it works. All right, it doesn't sound great. So, all right, here's the blades. These are pretty rusty. I could try polishing them. I could just paint them. But I'm gonna de-rust them first and see how they come out, because they may come out pretty clean, and then I'll just have to polish and wax them. So I'm gonna use Evaporust for that. So I've got that bucket right there. And these fit right in. This is a new gallon, so it should have no trouble taking care of this. Oh, we'll look in on that tomorrow. All right, our rubber, or the cover from the light. Now that the switch is in, we got a chance to test this. It couldn't fit any better. If it were just a hair bigger, I could put some felt around it. It's amazing. I may be able to still do that. I gotta think. It just fits it. Let me show you close up. I can't believe how close this fits. It's crazy. So clearly the base of that lamp was this size. This must be some type of standard base. Look at this. So this completely protects the wires, and it gives it, this is kind of a soft rubber, plasticky rubber. So it won't scratch furniture with that on it, and it won't be hard to get that to stay on. All right, let's take this oscillator apart. This probably could use some grease, and the fan itself could use some oil if I can figure out where the oil actually goes, because you may just drip it in. Looks like it goes in right there. All right, so let's take this off. I'll need a small screwdriver for that. And we'll see what those gears look like. So far, this is a pretty easy project. Hey everyone, just a brief interruption here. If you're enjoying this content and you'd like to support my channel, and especially if you like cats, I've written a series of chapter books for ages 8 and up, fully illustrated, called Flea Biscuit and Friends. The first book in the series is Flea Biscuit Finds a Home, followed by Flea Biscuit Summer Vacation, and finally, Flea Biscuit's Magic Christmas. They're available at all local booksellers as well as on Amazon.com. I will post a link in the video description. And hey, that's my pitch. Back to the video. Look at that. That piece is broken. But you'd never know it because the screw was holding it in place perfectly. So we'll put a little bit of JB Weld on that when we get this thing back together. Well, before I continue with this, let me see if you grease this from the side. That could very well be how you do it, but I can't quite get that screw to move. Well, let's take this last one out and see what happens. The oscillator's going to come off. Okay. One screw under here. That does not look like an original screw. And it's probably reverse thread, but maybe not. Let's try it. It's not reverse thread. That makes me think someone may have forced that in. All right, there's our oscillator box. Well, if there's grease in there, I don't see it. I'm going to wire brush these screws to clean them up. And to do that, goggles, gloves, and it's pretty easy. Just gotta hold on tight. Don't push too hard. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna do the rest of these. All right, I got this cleaned up, got the grease out, and interesting, that's a nice piece of brass there. That'll dress this up quite a bit. So I'm just going to put regular axle grease in this because the super lube that I have, I do not have it in a tube. I used to, but I don't believe I still have any of it in a tube. So I'm going to use, right Muggsy? Muggsy's down here if you can't see him. I'm going to use this regular tube just to push it in. Muggsy. All right, well, now Muggsy's in the way. You know why? Muggsy's thinking it's dinner time, and we're still outside. All right, so I guess we'll take a break now, Muggs. I need to JB weld that part, and we'll just put this whole thing together probably tomorrow. All right. Well, it turns out I was able to get that cover off. It just took a little extra prying. So I didn't need to add very much grease in that, but a little bit. But now I can clean this cover up. I'll probably just wire brush the top. I don't know if that's paint or dirt. Either way, it's gonna come off. All right, we are wired. We're greased. Ah, there is no, I guess there's an oil. Yep, there it is. There's the oiler hole back here. I'm curious if it'll run any better when there's oil in it. But I am going to flush the motor out. I'm just worried that the cleaner will damage the paint, but hopefully not. And if it does, I can repaint this thing easily enough. I'd rather not have to, but... All right, let me get some motor cleaner and I'll be back. To flush the motor out, I'm going to use WD-40 brand dry lube. This is not regular WD-40. I say that in every video. I know you've probably heard me say it, but it's important. Never spray WD-40 into your motor. So I'm gonna just go in let this run out the front. Nice. Some dirt came out, not bad though. All right, so I gotta let that dry before I run this thing again. Let's get this outside. Now we can put some oil in it. So we've got two oilers, one in back, right here, right above that. That oils your rear bearing. We've got one in front, right there. This will oil your front bearing. And we'll put some on the shaft and let it run in as well. Certainly can't hurt anything. Okay. Well, we're technically all back together. What we've got left is the blades and the cage. And then just checking the paint. Probably clean the paint up. I may just give the paint a light coat of like WD-40 or something, because it's fine. It's just faded and dirty. All right, so yeah, we're all back together. We're greased, we're oiled, and wired. So I gotta clean up this cage. I could try steel wool and polish. And that's probably what I'll do first. I could just paint the cage black. It would probably match perfectly fine if it were painted black. The blades are derusting in here, and so they'll get polished after. I've got a plastic base. Again, incredible how it just fits right in there. Sometimes you just get lucky, and that is really lucky. So okay, I'm gonna take a break for the night. It's about 9 p.m. So I've got the cats inside and I'm ready to wrap it up for the day. So this was a good day. It took me maybe 2 hours to get to this point, maybe less. I'm not really sure when I started, but yeah, we're very far along. It should be no problem at all wrapping this thing up in a couple hours tomorrow, and that includes all the cosmetics. So hey, I'll see you then. All right, I have got a vast collection of hardware here. I've got washers, cap nuts. These guys are gonna be too big, but I found these feet. So I think I'm gonna put these feet under this cap, which unfortunately will raise it a bit, but certainly will keep it so that I can use this as a base and it'll hold that basin. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna keep those. See if my 832s, yeah, my 832s will fit through that. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 4 holes in this plastic lid here. This is about as simple as things go. All right. So now I've got my 4 holes. I don't know if those are big enough for 832s. Yeah, they are. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna try, I think 832 3/4 will be enough. I don't think the halves will be big enough. I've got enough of these to do it. They certainly have enough feet. This is the type of thing you can pick up at estate sales, and you can't go wrong. You'll find a use for it, guaranteed at some point. If you're like me, anyway. Neat. I made the holes the size that you almost have to thread these guys in. Hopefully this is the right size. I've also got some finish washers here that maybe I'll need them, maybe not. I'm not sure what I bought some of this stuff for, but I quite often buy, I think I bought these when I did the solar panel on the Avalanche. I buy this stuff and I'll just buy extra and see, because I'm terrible at figuring out exactly what type of fastener I'm going to use. So I actually have grommets that I can put in here. Nope, that one already broke. As did that one. Well, pretty much broke. So this should be a matter of just doing this. These are so dried. We'll just replace all these grommets with rubber. That's big, but those are the right size, I think. I think I will be using those finish nuts. Well, that actually sits pretty good. All right, do I have room for these finish washers? 32s? I don't know what size these are. Yeah, it looks like I have room. Just barely for these and the cap nuts. Adds a little bright work to it, so that's always nice. And these are 832s. Oh, those look good. We got our feet. Why don't they sit level? There we go. They do sit level. All right, what's left? The blades. And the cage, I did paint. I gotta polish this badge, so let's take care of that next. So I used the word polish, and I did not mean that. We're gonna wax it. Don't use polish on something like this. If you use polish on it, you'll take all the ink off. It's old ink, and it'll come off. Polish is too abrasive, so I'm just using Tech Wax, which is what I use to wax my Avalanche. And this will clean it up nice without taking the ink off, I hope. You never know with these things, they're so old, but don't get too aggressive with it. But this will clean it up. And also, this Tech Wax actually smells great. I don't know what it is, but it's a kind of chemical-y smell, but it's nice. All right. That's it. So now you can really read it. Put it in place. Now we're just going to bend our tabs back to hold it. And just like that, our cage is done. So we are down to just the blades. So the blades have been sitting in evaporust. So I would assume that there is no rust on them at all because it's been a couple days. So I assume they're clean. Oh, they look fantastic. All right, so I have to take these out and rinse them off with water. I'm gonna do that and I'll be back. All right, the blades came out really nice. Not perfect, but really nice. But what's gonna make them perfect is we're going to polish them by hand, and we wanna be very careful. These blades are very thin. We don't wanna put any pressure. We certainly do not want to warp these blades at all. So how I do it is I'll keep the blade flat in my palm as I do this. And I'm not pushing down very hard at all. And it won't take that much. I think these are mostly cleaned. You can see we're not getting much off them at all, but it'll take any of the little pin spots out, or soften any other hard blemishes anyway. A little bit, not much. Okay, we're all polished, and now we are going to lightly take the polish off. Yeah. It's funny, now that I've got these off, I can see the curve on them. I'm wondering how straight they really are. Oh, Rusty just came in. That means I'm about to get rudely interrupted, right, Rusty? That's what you do. All right. So, let me, I knew you were going to do that, Rusty. So on the shaft, there will be an indentation like this. And that is where your set screw goes. So when you put your blades back on, put them right on top of that. And then when you tighten your set screw, it should go right in. Sorry, doing this with one hand is a little tricky. Let me put the camera. I can't do that with one hand. All right, let's put our cage on. There's always a way to do these, and sometimes it's quite difficult to figure it out. But this one was pretty easy. I've already polished these screws. All right, snug, 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 and tight. Tight and tight. Rusty. All right. Oh, one more step. I'm going to put a little oil on this finish, just a very light oil to give it a little shine and take a little of the dirt. It's a very dull looking finish. Let me do that, I'll be right back. To do this, I'm just putting a little bit of WD-40 on a rag. So you see how dull that is, and that's it. It just brings it up to look like that. It's very simple. Just spray a little bit on. You don't want to put too much on, and just go around it. Certainly you don't want to spray the WD-40 right on it, but it kind of takes care of the flat look a little bit and makes it look newer. I suppose I probably should have done this before I put the blades on, but we'll just reach it through it from there. All right, well, here we go. We're all cleaned up. It looks good. The blades look good. Rusty looks good. Right, Rusty? Let's look at the emblem. There is no model number on it. So I won't be able to look this guy up in my book, see exactly what era it is, but you know, a safe guess. be getting fur all over it, Rusty, is 1940's. So let's test it. All right, Rusty, I'm gonna have to put you down. No, I don't mean put you down. I mean put you down on the floor. Ugh. Gotta watch my language around him. All right, so let's plug it in. Let's give it a test run. All right, so as always, because I don't know if I've been playing with the switch or not. I don't know if it's on or off. Power is off, power is on, and there we go. Oh, it's a lot quieter than it was. Get it so you're not getting hit by the wind noise. So I'll back up and zoom. Yeah. Look at how cute that is. Works good. It's really smooth. Oh, watch out, Rusty. It came out great. I'm really happy with it. Nice. So yeah, as I was saying, we've upgraded it. It's now got a power switch. It's got a new power cord. It's greased in the oscillator. It's oiled. It's got a cover on it. It's got rubber feet. We painted the cage, polished the blades, and de-rusted them. And you know, since the paint was already in decent shape, I didn't have to do anything with that. I just needed to clean a lot of grease and stuff off. And we waxed the Koldair badge. So pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, that's it. This was a great project. Not that hard to do. These old fans are just, sometimes they're really easy to work on. They want to come together. There's a lot of little steps, but nothing really major. You know, we did some painting, but we didn't have to paint the body because it was in good shape. That's not common, but in this one it was. And we polished the blades. We de-rusted them and then polished them, and the blades came out fantastic. The chrome looks great. I waxed the badge. Remember, don't polish those badges. The paint will come off. And the badge shined up really nice. And you know, some wiring. We upgraded it with the switch and all that, so it wasn't bad. It was a great project. And now it's ready to go back to work. It's perfectly safe, especially the way we just did it. So hey, if you enjoyed this content or you enjoyed some of the other content on my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps me, it helps the channel grow. And you know, as I always say, you can do this. It's some basic wiring. You just need some basic tools and some imagination, like where to find that plastic base that we used and stuff. But overall, you can do it. It's not that hard. All you have to do is go out, get busy. Take care. All right, Rusty? Rusty's been at my feet this whole time while I was talking.